Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello, good day, student. Today we are going to have our last session for our subject, Mastery of Grammar. And without any further ado, let me share the material, and then we are going to start. Yeah. Okay. English proficiency test, preparation 1, week 15, parallel structure with comparison. Before we discuss this topic, I want to remind everybody that previously in week 14, everybody also learns about parallel structure with different things, not with the comparison. So today you are focusing on discussing about parallel structure with comparisons. Yeah. Okay. When you make a comparison, I think this is only a reminder. Everybody has known about this. When you make a comparison, you point out the similarities or differences. So when we are talking about comparison, that means we are talking about whether two things are similar or whether two things are different. And the similarities or differences must be in parallel form. So this is something everybody need to understand. Must be in parallel form. Okay. You can recognize a comparison showing how two things are different when we are having the pattern than and then more than. So when we are comparing something and then the two things are different, we use the pattern than and then more than. And when we are comparing something in which the two things are the same, so we can say the same or as blah 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 as or similar to, yeah, the same as or similar to. Okay, I repeat again before I move to the next slide. So it is common for us to compare something, or we are talking about two things. And then when we are talking about two things, that mean whether they are similar or whether they are different. But the point is that in our discussion, we must be sure that when we are comparing two things, the two things must be parallel. The two things must be parallel. Okay, that is the point. And then when we are talking about similarity, we can use the pattern like as blah 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 as or the same as or similar to. And then when we are talking about the differentiation between two things, so we are talking about than and then more than. So now we go on to the next slide. In fact, when we can use other expressions to show comparison, yeah. But we have to make sure the two things compared are parallel in structure. The point is that we need. This is also a reminder for everybody when we are comparing something in terms of similarity. We can use as the same as and then similar to. But when we are talking about uh, two different things, we can say more than, than, and then less than. But uh, again, the two things compared are parallel in structure. So as everybody can see in the following chart outlines the use of parallel structures with comparison. Here you can see we have the same structure with this one. So the same structure, the same structure. Yeah, this is the first thing, and then this is the second thing. They are supposed to be the same structure. And then we can use this pattern, more than, less than, as, the same as, or similar to. So this is something you have to keep in your mind. Now we go on to the analysis of the sentences. Now we'll look at the following examples and find out how the two things below are written in parallel structure. Everybody, you have 6 sentences here. Let me read it for you one by one. Number one, my school is farther than your school. So everybody can see exactly that this is a comparative sentence. How do we know? Because we have then. And then are we talking about two things? Yes, we have my school and then we have your school. Here, everybody can see my school is parallel with your school. What does it mean by parallel? That means they are in the same form. My school is a noun, your school is a noun. Now, number two, to be rich is better than to be poor. Is it a comparative sentence? Yes. We have than. And then what are the two things? To be rich and then to be poor. And we can see to be rich is parallel with to be poor. Again, what is the meaning of parallel? It means they are in the same format. What format is it? Is this is infinitive, to be and then to be. Yeah. This one is noun and noun. This one is infinitive, infinitive. Number three, what is written is more easily understood than what is spoken. Somebody asks you, is it a comparative sentence? Yes, because we have more and then, and then the two things are what is written and then what is spoken. Are they parallel? Yes. What is written is parallel with what is spoken. Again, parallel here means they are in the same format. What is written is a noun clause, and then what is spoken is also a noun clause. Now, number four, their car is as big as a small house. We have as and an as, that means we are comparing something in terms of similarity. So we have their car and then small house compared, and then they are parallel. Parallel means they are in the same format. Car is a noun, house is a noun. Okay, now number five, renting those apartments costs about the same as leasing them. Here we have the same as, that is the expression of similarity, and then the two things are renting and then leasing. Renting is parallel with leasing, and everybody can see renting is a gerund and leasing is a gerund. So they are parallel. Now the last sentence is that the work that I did is similar to the work that you did. This is the comparative sentence in which you can see the pattern used here similar to. So this is a comparative sentence about similarity. What are the two things compared? The work that I did and then the work that you did. So the work that I did is parallel with the work that you did. If somebody asks you what kind of format is this, and then the answer is this is an adjective clause, yeah, that I did and then that you did. That is adjective clause. So again, everybody, all those six sentences are telling everybody that we can uh, express our comparative sentences in several patterns: than, more than, as, the same as, similar to. But make sure when we are comparing the two things are supposed to be parallel. Parallel means they are in the same format or the same form. Now, this is the end of our discussion. You are having exercise 26. Yeah. Each of the following sentences contains word or groups of words that should be parallel. So everybody, you have 10 sentences and they are having something which are supposed to be parallel. Circle the word or words that indicate that the sentence should have parallel parts. So that means what kind of pattern do you see in every sentence? Talking about comparison. For example, is the sentence using than or more than or as blah 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 as or the same as or similar to? So you need to circle, okay? And then underline the part that should be parallel. So we are talking about the two things compared in the sentence. So you underline what are the two things compared in the sentence. And finally, indicate if each sentence is correct or incorrect. Now, everybody, let's see number one. His research for the thesis was more useful than hers. So what pattern do you see in sentence number one in showing this is a comparative sentence? So we have more and then. So you circle the word more and then, indicating this is a comparative sentence. And then underline the parts that should be parallel. So we are talking about the two things compared. His research, so you underline his research. Uh, if you want to make it complete, so you underline his research for the thesis, and then you also underline the word hers. So we are comparing about his research and then hers. And then finally, do you find that the sentence are parallel or in uh, or not parallel, correct or incorrect? So the answer is, since the first thing is his research is a noun, and then hers is also a noun in term of pronoun. So we can say this is correct. This is correct. So I think you can go on with number 2 till number 10. As usual, you are going to do the exercise as instructed on my app link. In case you have any question, of course, I welcome you for any question, and then you write down on my app link, or you can ask me directly to my phone number. So that's it for today. Thank you very much. Good luck with you, especially for your final term test. Thank you. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.